Right, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Sonic the Hedgehog, the review embargo is lifted. We're getting the reviews and reactions coming in. The tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes is 64%. I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes, don't care at all. But all these reviews are in one place, so it's good to take a look at Rotten Tomatoes because of it. It's easier to do this than scour the internet and have to read every single bloody review. So that's why we're on Rotten Tomatoes. I hate Rotten Tomatoes. Don't give it any stock. Now, there's 36 reviews coming in for Sonic the Hedgehog. Mixed to positive, it's looking like. It seems to be like a lot of people who are who have reviewed it anyway, from what I can see, seems to have been expecting something else. Like, I'm going to go watch it, and I'm going to be supporting this film because the studio listened to audience. Okay, in a world where the studios and filmmakers literally say "fuck you" to all of the fans, we know best, piss off. If you don't like this, you're a misogynist, or you're a sexist, bigot, racist, or any of this kind of crap. I really, really respect them for actually listening to the fans. So I'm going to support it based on that premise, and I hope you do too. But I know full well going into this film, it is a child's film. The humour's not going to be for me. I'm well aware of all of this. I'm just going to load myself up on sugary drinks and sugary food. I know, shocking to think. And that will appease me. That's the only... I'm literally just watching to support it. But like I say, the reviews are in. And like I say, mix the positive, right? Mix the positive. So, Sonic the Hedgehog is a diverting and entertaining family watch. But it will likely race out of your memory as quickly as Sonic collects rings. So just noting that it's a family film. Kind of what I was expecting, to be fair. 3 out of 5 though, so pretty positive. Now to go to a negative, Sonic's look was famously corrected after the movie's trailer triggered something akin to online panic. Perhaps fans should have been consulted on the script as well. Maybe. Might not become a kid movie classic, but it makes for a great little getaway to enjoy with the whole family. That in itself earns a golden ring. So again, child's film. Realistically what I was expecting. A fun, charming and dynamic adventure that sparks laughter and joy. The actors are having a blast and so do we. And then obviously, full review in Spanish, Espanol. I cannot speak Espanol. Despite a predictable plot, it's a kid's film, has to be predictable. Like genuinely has to be. And an annoying antagonist, Sonic's loneliness allow him to be charmingly relatable, and the zany plot will entertain kids while amusing Sega fans. So that sounds quite good. Kids film with Easter eggs for Sega fans, by the sounds of it. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog is what a family movie should be. So again, my expectation, as I clearly rightly pointed out, is it's a child's film. And everyone who has reviewed it positively seems to get that. If you can't enjoy this one, I don't know what to tell you. You don't need to rub it in Dr. Robotnik's orphan face. Okay. Children encountering the faux ET format for the first time may enjoy it well enough, but signs of life, extra or otherwise, are low to nil. So again, kind of sounds like... sounds like he's reviewing it outside of the boundaries of what the movie's intended to be, i.e. a family fun romp. If you're looking for a fun movie full of heart and great characters, you'll probably walk away disappointed too, because this movie feels empty, even if it is pretty. Interesting. Carey is the film's most prized weapon, letting us wallow in the ridiculousness of this whole enterprise without ever holding himself above it. That's interesting. I'm not so much a fan of Jim Carrey these days. Not so much any of his political ramblings, but more... I watched Jim and Andy. God damn, you should watch that film. Gives you a new perspective of the dude. But hopefully he's wound himself back in. Rolling around at the speed of mediocrity. Interesting. Fowler and screenwriters Pat Casey and Josh Miller established pleasing and slightly offbeat characters while skewing the world into video game terms, so no one ever seems as if they're in true peril. What you expect is a child's movie. Carrey's pure... some people would probably review that negatively, but like it's a child's movie. It's the same as most Marvel films. You never really feel like they're in true peril these days. So it shouldn't be reviewed against it, I don't think. But again, that one wasn't. Carrey's pure madness personified, and it's perfect for a movie about a talking hedgehog who can run faster than the speed of sound. Makes sense. So let's take a look at all of the actual negative ones, and we'll take a look at some of the positive ones. I don't want to be biased here, because I know opening this video probably sounds like I am a little bit biased, but again, I don't want to be. So we'll take a look more at the negative ones than the positive ones. So all in all, like its fast-moving attention deficit hero, this just feels like a rush job. Interesting, because it's not, but yeah, interesting to see. But that's for the Guardians. Steve Rose of the Guardians is a bit of a douche anyway. And you thought fixing Sonic's teeth would make this movie less of a nightmare. Okay, interesting. Well, IndieWire. Take that from what you will. Sonic now resembles a cartoon hedgehog instead of a spray-painted marmot. But if anything was done to degenericize the plot, Jesus Christ, it hasn't helped. It's almost like listening to the architect or whatever it was in the Matrix. Like, there's a limit to some of the words you do need to use and things. Yes, it's that kind of movie, a nattering chore of a family comedy that feels written by committee and directed by indifferent machine. Interesting. That's quite a scathing review, to be honest. That's probably one of the worst things you can have if it's a kids movie, so that's a shame. Their truly epic bad decision, far worse than the original fussy humanoid design of Sonic, was to make the Sonic movie into one of those clunky live-action adventure comedies with a digitally animated generic Weisenheimer plopped into the middle of it. Okay, so again, pretty scathing. Like, a lot of the negative reviews are pretty scathing. But kids enjoy this stuff. So it's kind of like, is it a good review or is it a bad review? Has the movie actually attained what it set out, to kind of do? The thought of spending more time with Sonic and his arch nemesis makes me want to roll into a ball and fly off a cliff at several hundred miles an hour. Again, real scathing. Eventually, Jim Carrey shows up as the villain, all mustache and ego and wild eyes and gadgets and insults, and things turn funnier. So basically, it sounds like Jim Carrey is the linchpin of the movie actually being remotely good. But 1.5 out of 4. Oof. The film was fine. Familiar, fair for gamers and children. Sonic sprints, Carrey mugs, but the creative juices run out quickly. It just sounds like a kids movie, to be fair. But again, I can appreciate some of the negativity. Throughout, any and all subtext is buried under the weight of Jim Carrey's mugging. Yeah, but again, kids don't understand subtext. So it's kind of like, well, does it really matter? So let's take a look at some of the positives. Because again, I don't want to be overtly biased. Again, family watch, race out of your memory quickly as it comes in. That's fine. So we've seen some of these. Despite a predictable plot and annoying antagonist, we've seen that one as well. Just scroll right down. So I've known better than to get excited about video game movies at this point. So the best I can say is the film delivers what it sets out to do. It sounds kind of like it's a kids movie designed for children. Sonic the Hedgehog is an incredibly charming slice of nostalgia that will entertain the entire family. So it really does seem, right, that a lot of people, it does seem anyway, that a lot of the people here are basically along the train of thought that I had, whereas it's a kids movie, like it's being good as a kids movie. It's not quite Detective Pikachu, but it's fun enough. A lot of people are pointing out it's family, it's kids, it's forgettable but fun. Those are all kids' movies, A kids' movie, yes, can be more, okay? And I will say that, for sure it can be more. The production may have riled the internet months ago with furor over the look of its first trailer sending FX crews back to work on a character redesign, but what's made it to the screen is light-hearted fun, unlikely to offend anyone. Yeah, so it does just seem to be very much Jim Carrey being the win. It's for kids. This is the one kids film where obligatory chase sequences should actually be encouraged. It also benefits hugely from the presence of Jim Carrey as Sonic's enemy, Dr. Robotnik. So Jim Carrey is a standout. It's a kids movie, and it will probably please Sega fans. That kind of sounds like they've accomplished what they set out to do, but I don't know. I will be watching it tomorrow, and I will bring you my review. What do you guys think of this? Does it sound good? Does it sound bad? Let me know down below in the comment section. I genuinely, wholeheartedly think you should support this movie. And I think if you talk about it, if you dislike it, you should also just make a comment of why you went to watch it, i.e. because they listened. Because production companies, I kid you not, they do actually watch videos like this. They do actually read reviews. I know, shock horror, but they do. So if you make it a point, the fact that you didn't like it by X, Y, and Z, but you were happy to support it because they listened, maybe in future they'll listen a bit more, but then also take a step in the right direction on making something good. But anyway, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comments. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Me and my big old shiny dome are leaving this video now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mr. H. Take care.